Alright, we be about daily updates ni. Na me sake video bi a eye Kasoa Rambo. Obi anim Kasoa Rambo eye ma me Hawa Koomson. Na chese ne ho aka oje ne ho ayenje. Sisi akra de ntia a me saka ne se wadwane a chese watu afiri ne fie wonum sisi a me kase. Na we na eye ewemu boys no omo ne mpanyimfo bi. Na omo ayi video no omo kire eye ma me Hawa Koomson se omo hu eye maame a onni abadaye tese Hawa Koomson da wo eye yi a kidigidi a nkofo bi edo eyi se kan ko wo ba fempo didi a wo beye ye wo media yi so na wo de wo atimi ahwenyame anima ma editu eku nkrofo ma o ma wo mu de a ene ye wonso ba bi a wo bi o mbehwehwew na o matwia wo ka nti o mo so mbekọ maame Hawa Koomson fi o mo so the boys bekọ ene de besi bi ebesi wo fie ono se watimi ahwa ama obi ba wonya ohwe wondidi watem unnim no mpo onka senti a wonya ohwe na se wame ya twitu abo omutu eku omu kwade a ene omu so omu nti ase mi omu so omu ma police for ya we so omu be ku fie ono omu se the boys be ku fie o na se Kasoa Rambo se sei na anyo mbetena honoma ade no waluzi a waluzi enye ntokwasem bas wahwenya anim ama yakụ nipa bibre enti se de enyo so omuba so abusiafo kam ho ne enkohwe video ni nchiremu a ye impanyufo yi ede bae ne ba de obi aso ede beto aso mema renfi subscribe to your channel na afi wadwinche bia so fabra ye comment section ye hwe video ni sisi
Oba besia opposition moja hwegu Hawa Koomson are you okay are you normal obi ntimi ntuma ame wefu a eyemre oba ya dey say kan wo ne keke onsunu kujam na wo wasma boys amo ma kokum obi hey because of election nipa nya so odi watemo na wo ye obibi wati ya twituo akum nipa me nam tuo mo Hawa Koomson fie ah ya fa ballot people so the fie yeah election ojida in no parameter nobody asked this woman to even go outside it's against the law na wakum obi ba na wo no me kwatena se agidi na Nyankopon aye so no onti ase nyame aye so no onti ase se Hawa Koomson ama okrofo agonkrofo tuo badeko obi anu obi ankoye nyeso obi no obi extend west edabi ba one day maybe CPU and the day is now commander Kasoa what in America say it will never happen again now I'm giving some time I will move my men to the Hawa Koomson house we will go there we want to tell them the police we will go there we would retaliate we will not give it out just like that it's unacceptable it's awful Adai Hawa Koomson kwa election wakaso oba besia woni abataye hunni tema Nyankopon hu mobo Nyankopon hu Hawa Koomson mobo na nyameti ase a ne suma yade a eni aduro e de to Hawa Koomson ne kunu ne ma ene na busia I give only 1 month and it shall happen Ami yawo nyese nipa na ko wia obibi wafa obibi wakodi obi atem wa me atwituo ekuku ne fie ho police phone ba be fa ballot box the boys dey fire walusu wa wini nothing can change anything here nothing can change ya je so am otimi o ne obi aba obi batuo wasoma ne aba obi batuo Bible says sukuru wa susuma unia no sa sukuru anu ne beba so flat sukuru wa ube susuma unia no that same thing and beba so Hawa Koomson brewa sasi so nyina wudi usika nyina beto adua wo ene wo ma ikofo ya omumo ja hwie gu wa be ko omenyo hwe dia brad wo just hear me dia brad now on getting ready Hey, we are not giving up. Hey, we are not giving up. What I say, we are not giving up. MP before from their head. And no nama macro than you before. Hawa Koomson or Malaysia 2020. Because here we are now free say and one. They be an account police near so near. Oh, the money when one day. One Ashanti. Obeba. Na yen na ebe de. What Kasoa. Hawa Koomson e win election. Obi an ni problem. Sa no NDC members win ya. Obi an ni problem. I just say nipa wu. Anya say nipa wu ko fa ballot paper bi ana bibi e na wo bushi to nipa na enya me ya. Onya o hwe. O pesa o we lose. Abana wa gu ono. Afisi abro ye be try to try den. Time and season.
President, we shouldn't say things like, well, we were not ready or we are not ready. We haven't had the chance.
Yeah, but I'm ready for a woman president.
Okay,
but
great. I'm happy to hear that. So yes. When we hear people like you say that you are ready for a woman president, then it will convince the masses to also see.
Because one day I want my daughter to be president.
Oh, amen. Amen to that. Amen to that.
You see, so all in all, I think that.
And then we can go to Doc. Yes.
I think that the election the MPP lost. I don't think it was the candidate per se, but the policies, the very bad, objectionable, policies of the outgoing government. The fact that we had, a government that was so corrupt, and I mean, Bawumia is just.
It's not a bad candidate.
No, he's not a bad candidate, but in the wrong time.
Okay.
The wrong time.
All right.
Yeah.
Doc.
Well, I have quite a number of issues. Let's look at the problems that they themselves create. Now, when you have a certain number of your candidates going independent, right, from your fold, it means that you've not been able to solve or manage internal bickerings. That will show its ugly head in the national elections. This is a factor that has affected the MPP. How then were they supposed to deal with that? It is supposed to have been dealt with by the leadership of the party. Poor management. You could not talk out Cynthia Mamle, you could not talk out Ashanti, you could not talk out that Kesi, you could not talk. So it means that managerially they got it wrong. Two, if you look at the 2020 elections, thinking that you have won, when in actual fact it has to a hung parliament, right? And you saw also that the president's vote that he had in the 2016 elections, the votes have been halved. That means that the party, the NDC, was on a rising trajectory as opposed to the MPP with respect to that. Now, the main dilemma with respect to the reforms that they will want to engage in, the main dilemma is, should we go with Dr. Bawumia or should we drop him? What are the factors that will militate against his dropping and for? If you look at what is it called? Is it Northeast, right? Look at Northeast. The results that came indicate that in his home region, he could not outshine Mr. Mahama. It could be part of the the hurricane that was blowing, and for which reason there is nothing that he could do. But even if you go to America, as bad as Bush Jr. was, he is going to win Texas. Flatly, he will win Texas. So that is something probably they will have to engage their minds. The idea of bringing Dr. Bawumia was to give a national character, and that is where I disagree with the earlier that kinds of things that he said. You see, it was to give MPP a national character. It is perhaps only the NDC that, irrespective of your background, you could have an opportunity of becoming a flag bearer. So when we talk about Buzia Dankwa Dombo thing, that traditional foundation of the party, it alienates others who don't come or who don't identify themselves from that particular fold. The only period they can identify themselves is by saying that, well, this is our origin and this is where we all emanate. But if it is a matter of regionalization, the tradition is regionalization, it alienates the others. And if people think of that, they will not want to join the MPP because they don't see the affair in there. The monetization of delegate politics. This is an albatross that has come to hang around the necks of both parties. And it was worse in the MPP in these current elections. If you look at the intelligence that I gathered from the Ashanti region, most of the people who were protesting, some of them said, it is Ronald Walker that we want, but you guys went to vote for Kesi. Therefore, it is either you bring us fridges for all the 60,000 voters, or we are not going to vote. Let the delegate go and do their own job. That is an apathy, of which they will want to work on that. As far as our traditional politics are concerned, it may be intangible, but tribal and religious sentiment exist.
All right.
They may be intangible, but they do exist. Okay, so you are talking about Dr. Bawumia coming from a minority tribe. And what that means is that his competence must overshadow these intangibles that may work against him. Because what is the essence of picking Dr. Napo Prempeh? Why? It's because the base of the party is an Ashanti. So you will want people to get on board because that is a factor you are considering in choosing him. Among other factors, you are considering that in choosing him because you want the Ashanti support base to identify themselves with that person that, well, if you have a problem, you have challenge, blah, 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 that's the more reason why we brought this person. And we know the population that they bring on board. Reaching out to those who have left as part of the reforms, finally, on that point. Reaching out to those who have left. It cannot take the old guards to reach out to them. They won't come. They won't oblige. It will have to take a new set or crop of executives who will want to portray themselves as middle liners so that they'll be able to bring the both sides on board. But on the final thing, the point is that...
I'm so sorry. I have to cut you there. We want to connect to some of our correspondents who are joining us from the Ashanti region. And Kesi, who are you joined by right now?
Right now, I'll be speaking shortly to William Evans Inkum, who heads the Ashanti Regional Bureau. But I'd like to take it off from where, contributor left off about the excitement amongst the top executives or top echelons of the NPP when Dr. Bawumia was elected as the flag bearer of the party, and the fact that, the party which had traditionally been seen as an account party was now opening up its base to, include a lot more people, and the fact that that selection alone was going to satisfy the whole tradition of Dankwa, Buzia, Dombo, So that's what they were looking out for. We're going to go to the Ashanti region now, which has also traditionally been known as the World Bank of the NPP. And many say this because Dr. Nasasari will recall the contribution of people like Kwame Edu-Safo, a physician and politician, as well as Akintana Piamenka, who was also an industrialist, and the role they played. These were founding members of the NPP, and how much they managed to, rally the grassroots of the party to feel a sense of belonging and a sense of ownership, and that's why people of the Ashanti region have continually thrown their weight and support behind the NPP. Let me go now to William Evans Inkum, who has been monitoring activities in the Ashanti region. Williams, what do you have for us?
Well, so exactly, your points that what we have been seeing as far as the Ashanti region is concerned, maybe some notes will have to be rewritten. That is whether the region going forward will still be a stronghold of the ruling New Patriotic Party. Because as I speak to you now, the NDC currently has about 8 seats, and they are even looking forward to having more. So, for instance, Obuasi East constituency seat has been declared as a seat going to the NDC. That is from what we saw from the electoral commissioner. That is the presiding officer declaring that particular seat for the NDC. They are still looking forward to the Ahafano Southwest and, of course, Ahafano North constituency. So these are constituencies that are still in contention. Of course, for Ahafano Southwest, we know that the regional EC has called for the presiding officer to bring